So first off, congratulations. You created a budget. This is something that even our government right now cannot do. So you are ahead of the game. And one of the next things we want to do is, now that we have a budget, we want to make sure that we're getting out of debt. Because being a stay-at-home mom, you have already so many things to worry about and to consider that we don't want to be worried about the debts, those credit cards, those car loans, that noise that can go on that can cause so much emotional drama. So before you become a stay-at-home mom, it's really important to knock down these debts. So that's what we're going to focus over the next couple minutes. And then you've got your next step to go ahead and fill out this spreadsheet. So I'm going to walk you through and actually show here's what we did. Okay? So we're going to focus on this debt area. You have your mortgage, credit card 1, credit card 2, maybe more, car loan 1, car loan 2, you may have more. So what you want to do is for each line item that we have here, you want to have a corresponding tab across the top, and I'll walk through that in a minute. So let's first talk about your lowest debt first. We want to pay that off first. So in our previous demonstration, we talked about our credit card 1. It had a $1,200 debt. That's our lowest one. So we want to pay that one off first. And we had talked about putting $300. I went ahead and modified that a bit because I added a car loan. And our minimum payment on the car loan was $250. So I wanted to keep my monthly budget in the black. So this month I can only afford to put a maximum of $250 towards credit card 1. So let's start from there. I'm going to go up to my tab for credit card 1. Now in this tab, anything in gray is automatically calculated. So all you need to do is fill in the blanks. So I've got my $1,200 debt on my credit card 1 at 7.25% interest, and I'm going to be able to make a $250 payment. Our minimum payment is $50. So let's take a look and see how that actually fills out. I've got $7.25 going towards interest. Principal. So this is the amount that's actually being paid down. So out of the $250 that I'm paying, I only actually owed about $50. But because I'm paying more, I'm paying down an additional $200. So that means I only have 5 payments remaining. So let's take this through. I'm going to copy it down. 5 payments remaining. Let's say next month I'm able to throw $300 at it. I've got 3 payments remaining. But let's keep it simple. So let's keep it $250. Okay, so that's your first debt. You paid it down in 5 months. $1,200 in 5 months. It sounds small, but it's going to get big. So the next thing we're going to do is take that $250, roll it over into our second credit card that up until June, we will have been paying only $50 a month. Now we're going to be able to throw $300 at it. Okay, we'll say this one was at 7.25 as well. And I've only been paying $50 towards it, the minimum, not adding anything to it. We're not using our credit cards. And now I can add $300 and start paying it down. Got 11 payments left. Let me go ahead and carry my 7.25 down for a little bit. There we go. May 2016, I just paid down a grand total of $4,700 in 2 credit card debts. That's pretty good. Now, I have $300 that I've been throwing at debt. 2 credit cards I've been throwing this at. Now I'm going to go start paying off my car loan. So let's go take a look at that. Car loan. I owe $21,000 at 5.25. I've been paying $250 a month up until recently, and let me go check when that was, up until May 2016. Okay, now, because I'm used to not having another $300, I'm going to put another $300, so that's $550 towards my car. Check that out. My payment went from 100 payments remaining down to 38. Okay, let me carry these numbers down. It gets exciting at this point because you're really seeing that debt snowball that Dave Ramsey refers to it as really taking off, and you're really watching it just gain momentum and knock out all this debt. So I know in the beginning of this ebook, I also mentioned that this is not a race to becoming a stay-at-home mom. It is a marathon, and this gives some reality into what you can do. And you can get serious about breaking down this debt and breaking down these walls. It's just a commitment that you and your family have to make. And I can tell you, my husband and I, we paid off, well, actually $90,000 in 2.5 years, and that was student loans, credit cards, 2 car payments, and a piece of property. $90,000 we paid off in 2.5 years. It can be done. You just got to dig deep and really work your numbers and really evaluate what is important. And you have a very important goal. You are wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. This is all you have to do. It's the numbers and the commitment, and it's a daily step that you take. So let's get started. It's the same thing with the mortgage payoff. I wanted to go ahead and point out something here. Let's say you got 3.25. One of the things that I did do here is we added every year an extra payment line. So what this extra payment does, it's giving you an additional amount towards the principal, thereby paying it down more, faster. Okay. Now, when I became a stay-at-home mom, we still owe it on the house, and we're going to continue to owe on the house for another couple years, and that's something that we are willing to live with and that we're comfortable with. But the rest of the debt, the credit cards, car payments, it all had to go away. Okay. So our actual payments, we're going to keep those trucking. The bank loan paid off for our cars, April 2019, so that's $550 extra. And the other thing you got to keep in mind, people are going to get pay raises. So you have the potential to earn more money to pay these things down. So you can already see my numbers dwindling. And now I'm going to be able to throw another $800. Let's see, I'm sorry, what was the amount? $550. I get excited. All right, 18550. Whoa, I get really excited. Okay. And I'm going to show you something else. I know I mentioned briefly in the book about escrow. Let me show you the difference it makes. All right. So if we pay $1,300 a month and we have an interest of 3.25, that means that we're paying $354.85 towards interest alone. That's not actually your house. The principal that you paid is on what's actually going towards the house. Now, if I have escrow, what that essentially means is I'm giving the mortgage company money to put aside to save for my property taxes. You're giving them money to put aside for your property taxes. And guess what? They're earning interest on your money. So if you are giving them $100 towards your escrow, your principal pay just went down. So if you have an opportunity to refinance your house and it makes sense, meaning you're going to have closing fees, so if you're able to recover those closing fees within the time frame that you're planning on living in the house, then it benefits you to refinance. So if you're only going to plan on living in the house for another 2 years and you're going to refinance with the $7,000 refinance fee, it's not worth it. You want to do that math. My husband and I, we got rid of our escrow and refinanced with another company. And so now we actually save ourselves the money to pay for the taxes. And that's, again, it's a discipline thing. You have to be disciplined in order to do that. Otherwise, you're going to have to rely on your mortgage company, who can fluctuate that escrow. Okay, and I'm going to let that settle for a second. If they fluctuate that escrow, that means your extension on your mortgage could go a little longer because you're not earning as much towards your principal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and plug these numbers in and watch it roll. The escrow amount, if you continue to have an escrow, you'll get that from your mortgage statement and plug it in. All right, so check it out here. March 2019, if we were to continue to pay only $1,300, which is our minimum mortgage, we would have 203 payments remaining. If I were to start paying $1,850 a month, because now I'm used to paying that towards my other debts, I now only have 118 payments remaining. So if we keep on plugging those in, and again, this is assuming an escrow of $100. Then you could be debt-free in less than 30 years, I can tell you that. Takes a little bit to go through this. Aha, we passed the mark. 2027. So it's a 12-year mortgage. How awesome is that? Okay, so again, what you want to start with is your lowest debt first, whether that's your student loan, credit card, whatever. Start with that debt first, pay it down, move to the next one. Every time you update this, we want to go ahead and update the budget worksheet. So on the credit card payment 1, I'm going to pay it $250 for the next several months, 5 months. I'm going to go update my budget tab. 250, 250, and last one, and then I owe, whoops, nothing at all. And then the following month, I'm going to pay down my next one. I'm going to pay 300. Until it is paid off. So I think you get the gist of it. So let's get cracking. Just remember, I know this is a little bit tedious, but it is for a very good purpose, and it is going to be worth it. So let's get started.